All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Nithin Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Show. This is episode 832, joined by a really special guest. His name is Demetrius McCray. He's an NFL free agent, cornerback, defensive back. He played for the Jaguars, Seahawks, and Raiders. He went to Appalachian State for college, and really looking forward to this interview. And thank you again, Demetrius, for joining the show. How are you and your family doing?
I'm doing pretty well, man. I appreciate you having me as well.
Yeah, no problem. So I want to start off with your childhood, and you grew up in California. So what was it like growing up in California, and when did you get interested in playing sports? And before playing football, did you get to play any other sports?
I was born in Long Beach, California. Spent a good amount of my childhood out there, and then I transitioned over to the East Coast where I was in South Carolina, and then I moved to Georgia. Spent some time actually overseas as well. Had some parents that was in the military, so spent some time out there, and then I really only played football. Majority of my childhood. I did play other sports in high school as well. But football was mainly my thing.
Hmm. Thank you to your parents for their service.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, did you have any like role models growing up that you looked up to in the NFL while you were playing?
Yeah, actually, I was always, a big Barry Sanders fan. Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders. When I was younger, they both had the last name Sanders. They were both, all I heard, and so I always thought they was brothers until I started to realize that, they not related. But yeah, those was the two people that I really looked up to.
Hmm. So when you were in high school, take me back when you were in high school. What were the main things that you learned as a football player that got to where you're at right now? And did you coaches love to put players in multiple positions? And before settling on defensive back, did you get to play offense too, or in
Yep.
your career?
Yep. So I played quarterback in high school as well, and then a little bit of receiver. So I went to actually two high schools. So I spent some time in South Carolina, Mounts Corner, South Carolina, going to Berkeley High School, where I played wide receiver. And then, going to Georgia, actually, it's a little town, Covington, Georgia, where I went to my last 2 years of high school, and I actually played quarterback and safety. So, I played a little bit of both. It was both fun. Both great schools. Love going back to both cities as well.
Hmm. So, so how many offers? So after your high school career, how many offers did you get, and what made you choose Appalachian State? So take me back to your recruiting process.
So yeah, recruiting process was really fun. I had a lot of teams reaching out as far as I had Troy, I had a couple other teams that was in the Southern Conference that when App State was there at the time. But yeah, I was getting recruited by a lot of people that was in the Southern Conference. Appalachian State, they just had, that rich tradition. It felt like family. It felt like home when I visited there. I already made my mind up that, hey, this is the spot I need to be, and it was an easy decision for me, just because of the winning culture they had, the tradition they had, and just what they was building. And, as you can see, I was a small part of what they built there, and, and I hope they, advance even further than what they already are.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I just want to ask you this: did you ever consider staying close to home for your college career?
Yes and no. So that's a combination of yes and no. I really wanted to be somewhere I can get to within a day, but I really wanted to be far enough where I can just focus on football as well. So yeah, it's two-part answer to that question.
So what was the experience like playing at Appalachian State? Obviously, they're a young, growing team now, and a great college to go to for academics and sports. But what was your experience there with playing in front of those fans?
Man, it was great. It was really great, man. The energy at Kid Brewer Stadium was always fun. Once the elevation that played a big part of it, because you can actually see teams gasping for air because the elevation. So we was just used to it. They always brought energy to fans, and then the students as well. But yeah, for us being a D1 AA school at the time when I was there, we had a great fan base. We had a great stadium. We had great everything, great winning culture, everything.
Yeah, so I want to get to your draft experience now. Obviously, you got drafted round 7, pick 210 in
Yep.
2013 by the Jaguars. Take me through your mind and when you were waiting with your family and then waiting for a long time. And did you feel concerned that you didn't you could there's a chance that you didn't get drafted? But what was the feeling like once you got drafted?
Yeah, there's always that chance of, hey, we inching closer to, the 7th round. Luckily I was picked, like, I think it was pick number 7 in the 7th round or something like that. So, luckily I didn't wait around the whole 7th round. But yeah, it's always that concern, coming from a small school, not heavily, televised or anything like that. But hey, they took a chance on me, and I'm forever grateful for that. But kind of the experience, it was fun though. It was fun. I was in Cincinnati at the time with my agent, and we just had a small party, and it was a family thing, and it felt like a family get together. They was all excited. Mom, my auntie was excited. Everybody, and so yeah, it was a really fun experience.
Yeah, so heading out as a rookie, as a 7th round pick, I mean, some of these obviously you got to work hard and show the team what you got. And what
Hmm.
so when you were heading into training camp, rookie mini camp, and trying to show them what you got as a player, what goes through your mind when you have to work harder than the other players just to make the roster? And what was the mindset that got you on the roster?
Man, that's a great question. So, lucky enough, man, App State, they prepared me for that next step. Throughout my training for the NFL, they prepared me. All of the coaches that I had, um, it was just that mindset that was instilled in us. Hey, you always got to work hard. You're not always going to be the fastest or the biggest or the strongest, anything like that, but you will have a great work ethic. And so that's what a lot of small people from small schools, that's what they have. And so they have that work ethic. They have that chip on their shoulder. And so, that's kind of what I displayed throughout my time in NFL. I'm grateful for that time as well. I'm grateful for in you know the 5 years that I did play, and then and it's always going to be a great memory that I have as well.
Yeah, so what was the experience like playing with the Jaguars? Obviously, they were young, rebuilding, but now it seems like they're back on trying to make the playoffs this year, hopefully. But what was it like just going in there? And your offense was great, actually. You had Mercedes Lewis, Justin Blackman,
Yep.
great players. So what was it like playing in Jacksonville in
Man,
that?
it was actually really fun to be out there. Jacksonville is a really fun city to be in. I'm still here in Jacksonville. Always, I consider this now it's my home. So, I really like playing in front of the fans. The fans was awesome, always have been. I wish we could have won more while I was there, but hey, man, we definitely gave it our all every single time we was out there, displaying our talents. But yeah, man, I just think the fan base, it's time for us to, get further in the playoffs. And I think they got the team to do it now.
The right coach now and the right pieces, but for sure.
Yep. Hopefully they can definitely display, an explosive offense, a dominant defense, and, dominant special teams as well.
Yeah, so now and then after the Jaguars, you get to go to another great organization, Seattle Seahawks, playing for
Yep.
Pete, playing with Russell Wilson, and that defense was amazing. What was it like learning from a guy like Dan Quinn? I mean, actually, he wasn't there at that time, was it? If I'm not.
Yep. Nope, he was not there. So we had Chris Richard. It was during his time. So, man, it was awesome. Everything, I was really familiar with the defense as well because, my time with the Jags, Gus Bradley was the defensive coordinator at Seattle, and then he came to Jacksonville and implemented that defense as well. And so, hey, I was familiar with it. I was familiar with a lot of the terminology and a lot of the schemes, and so it was an easy fit. I wish I would have spent more time there, but hey, learning from them guys, you can see why they are, future Hall of Famers, Sherman and Earl and, Cam, even Bobby Wagner. You can see why that they are future Hall of Famers.
So what was it, speaking of those players, what was it like playing with them? Playing with Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, especially Cam Chancellor, man. This guy,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas. So what was it like just to learn from them in the locker room?
Man, it was really a fun experience, man. They are, you can see why they are great. You know, they put so much extra time in, whether it's film study or, extra time on the field. You can see why they are great because they put that extra work in. They probably the smartest group. They've seen a lot of things, and so they got that experience as well. But yeah, man, it was just fun learning from them. They are always willing to share their knowledge of the game, and then share their experiences as well, professionally and personally.
I want to ask you about Coach Carroll because the reason why I love Coach Pete Carroll and he's having success here is because he's laid back and he has a lot of energy. He's for the players, for the team.
Mm.
I like learning from him because he always brings that passion and chews that gum on the sideline.
Yeah, so being from Southern California, man, Pete Carroll because his SoCal days, USC days, and so it's really fun. That energy that he bring, is unmatched. He really energizes that building with philosophies and just that energy in those team meetings, and then walking around the building, and then especially at practice, he's always high energy, and that's something that the players they feed off of too. So it's really fun, especially on the sideline. Really high energy on the sideline. Really great competitor too. So yeah, that's what I really like learning from him. I really like my time that I was with Seattle. Learned a lot. So yeah, it was really fun.
And now after Seattle, you went to Oakland, but now the Las Vegas Raiders. But what was it like playing in Oakland? And obviously, they have a great fan base in Oakland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that fan base was awesome too. That's probably one of my favorites. Whether being playing for them or playing against them, that black hole, it was something different. But I loved it every second of it. My short time there, yeah, man, I just loved the team. I loved, my teammates there. The locker room was fun. Everybody was welcoming when I was there. I adjusted really well. I just wish my time there was a little bit more, extensive.
Yeah, so I'm just curious for you as a player. Obviously, we had a lot of players on our show that kept moving from team to team, and was it tough for you? Obviously, moving from going to 3 organizations in your career and then learning different systems. But like you said earlier, you knew the system when you went to Seattle because of Jacksonville. But how was it tough for you from moving from team to team?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because you got to up and move. You got to go. You got to go through the trouble of moving, especially across the country. But going to another organization, you pretty much know some of the guys that's already on the team, so you connect with them, whether it's social media or them from other places like the combine and stuff like that. So it's easy getting to know some of the team. They, they can show you around and things like that. So that part was easy. And then playing football, that's easy. I was already pretty much not a rookie anymore. So, veteran player. And so I knew how to mesh with players as well. So, that was an easy transition. Probably the hardest thing is just, packing up and moving across country. But I always had a home base here in Jacksonville. But just, doing that's probably like the hardest thing for anybody in the NFL too, that part.
So looking back at your career and obviously how grateful are you that you got to play the game that you loved and play with great organizations, get drafted and make your family proud? And how grateful are you to be in this position right now?
Man, very grateful. Very grateful. Man, I always say how blessed I am, just to have that opportunity, that most people don't get, so yeah, man, I'm just always grateful for it.
Yeah, so obviously, you said earlier you didn't put the retirement paper on yet, but what have you been working on from the last year when the pandemic started and when the sport shut down, and what have you been working on yourself, and what are you trying to do to get better?
Yeah, so I do have a full-time position that I do. So I do recruiting for this company called Fanatics. So I do that. I've been doing that for about 3 years. And then I also own a personal training business on the side as well. So I've been doing a combination of both. So yeah, that's been really fun. I'm able to excel in my second career as well. So, it's been really fun since I moved on from football.
But do we see any comeback in your journey still? Any comebacks or?
Nah, not at the moment. Not at the moment that I see. Not at the moment. So I'm pretty comfortable. So it's, I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at as far as like my career and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I don't see it anytime.
What advice would you give to these young athletes or young kids that are trying to get to their goals and achieve their goals?
And just have fun with it. Everything is just, just having fun. It's that time is going to come where you can't play the game, whether you forced out or whether you no longer have the passion for it. So just have fun while you are playing it. It's going to go by quick. And just cherish all those memories inside the locker room with your teammates, and have fun with it, because at the end of the day, it's still a game.
So now we do this fun little segment. It's called the rapid fire segment. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Has anyone asked you if you're related to Danny McCray?
Yes. Yeah.
You're not related to him?
Nope, not related to him, but I've been asked a lot of times.
What was your most memorable game that you played in college and the NFL?
Ooh, most memorable game in college. So it was probably a game where we had my senior year. It was against Montana. It was a night game. Like 2 years ago, they had just beat us in the playoffs. So, that was kind of like a rivalry in D1 AA. And so, I got the game sealing interception at the very end on a Hail Mary pass. And so that was pretty fun to experience. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorites.
In the NFL?
Oh, so the NFL, probably my favorite game in the NFL is probably that time, my second year in 2014, when we went against the Steelers. I probably had my best game of the season, that year when we went against the Steelers. Of course, they had Antonio Brown, and he was really good. But I did hold my own during that game. I had a really good performance. Those guys was really good too as well.
Toughest defense you have to face as a quarterback, and toughest offense you have to face as a defensive player?
Oh, toughest defense I had to face. Well, I played offense in high school, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, those Atlanta schools in high school was really tough during the time. Toughest offense I faced, did you say in college or the pros?
In general. Yeah.
Toughest offense I faced. That's a great question. That is a great question. Man, I faced a lot of great offenses, and just, the game now is just surrounded around offense. So much you can do. It's so much we can't do on defense that has the advantage for the offense. So yes, I can't pick out a particular team, but I can just say all offenses were really good, especially in NFL. We everyone gets paid in NFL. So they are professionals for a reason. So, everybody is really skilled at whatever position.
So obviously you're doing you have another business, but if the right opportunity presents for yourself, would you consider being a coach at the college level or NFL level?
So at this moment, no, not at the moment. I don't see coaching in my near future right now.
Funniest teammate that you play with?
Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, beast mode.
Yep.
Wow. What was it like playing with him as a teammate?
Yeah, it was just fun. It was fun. He was always loose and always approachable and things like that. So yeah, it was really fun to be around.
All right, I just have to ask you this: has anyone asked you that you look like Kawhi Leonard a little bit?
I look like Kawhi Leonard? That's the first time I've ever heard that before. I've never heard that before. So, whoa, Kawhi Leonard, never heard that one before. Whoa. Oh man, heard that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But so I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and what are your thoughts on them? And we have Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator, and do you like what we're building on the defense now?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like that. I like that defense that the Cowboys have. Of course you gotta, there's always things that you have to fix, but I'm sure that they will. Dan Quinn, he got a lot of experience, coaching the Seattle defense, and then having a, pretty good defense in Atlanta as well. And so, yeah, I think, the Cowboys are going to be really good as well. So I'm just excited to see some good football this year, because it's going to be a lot of great football this year.
Yeah. So speaking of your former team, the Jaguars, obviously they they made a lot of moves this all season in the draft and free agency. And there's one player I want to get to is Tim Tebow. Do you think he has a legit chance to make that team?
Yeah. Everybody has a chance to make the team. He just has to go out there and work. Everyone has that same chance to make the team. Hey, I made the team, as a rookie. I made the team second year, third year, fourth, fifth. So, everybody has that chance.
So I know you said you like Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders, but
yeah.
What all-time player do you like to watch usually from the past?
Oh man, so I got a couple of those, man. I got a couple of players that I just watch on a almost weekly basis when I was playing. And a couple of those players were Nnamdi Asomugha, Raiders. He was just so dominant, that man-to-man, long arm, similar build and stuff like that. Him, I always like to watch Revis, when I officially was, playing corner in college, and then in a pro, I just studied Revis and studied Sherman and Nnamdi Asomugha. Like, hey, what did they do? What can I take from their games to mine? So yeah, those are some of the guys that I watch, heavily.
So I want to ask you, have you been watching the NBA playoffs?
I have not been. I really have not been. But I will be watching the finals once the finals are set. I really have not been watching basketball this whole year. I am a Lakers fan, so once they got put out, that was just another thing for me to be like, oh well, Lakers put out, But I will watch the finals though. I will watch every single game of the finals.
I got the Suns and Hawks in the final. I still believe in the Hawks. Hopefully they're down 2-1, but I got the Suns and the Hawks in the finals. How about you?
I got the Suns and the Hawks as well, but I got the Suns winning it all. So that's just my prediction. I haven't been watching basketball a whole lot this season, which I should have been. But that's my prediction from what I've been hearing. The Suns look pretty good.
Yeah, so I want to get to two important topics. The first one here, HBCU schools. What do you like about the growth of HBCU schools? Obviously, Deion Sanders at Jackson State, and now Eddie George at Tennessee State. I love the growth of them. And what do you like about the growth of HBCU schools now?
I think it's awesome. So, yeah, man, it's gonna come a time when they are on, ESPN and having those primetime slots. So I can't wait to see it. I definitely can't wait to see it, because coming from a small school as well, we didn't get the recognition, as like, those primetime slots every single week. But, when you do, you just got to make it, to take advantage of them and get your name out there, because, all publicity, will be good. So we gotta make sure we get those people on the, get HBCUs on the, on those primetime slots.
And they deserve it too, in my opinion.
They do, absolutely.
And also now, NFL made history. Obviously, Carl Nassib from the Raiders announced that he was gay last week. And what are your thoughts on that? And what do you think other people were? Do you think the other players from different teams will react differently? How do you think this will work out?
I think it'll work out fine. Definitely, kudos to him for living his truth. But I think it'll work out fine. I don't think people would look at him differently. I don't think anything like that. So if I was on the team, hey, he's Carl. He's still Carl. Nothing changed. So, hey, definitely kudos to him. I commend him for real, for doing that. It's tough. It's tough these days. So, I definitely commend him. But hey, if he was my teammate, we'll be, hey man, we definitely appreciate you living your truth. But hey, man, you still Carl. We still, if we were teammates, if we hung out, things like that. still go about our business as well.
Favorite food?
Oh man, I got a lot. Oh, I got a lot. So I'm a big seafood person too. So I like blue crabs. I like any type of crabs. I like fish. So I'm more, yeah, I gravitate more to seafood.
Favorite music?
Oh man, I like a lot. So I like, more of that, R&B type of music, real chill type of music, things like that.
Mine is Drake, J. Cole,
Okay.
Tupac, Biggie.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
it.
Yep. I definitely vibe out with those as well.
And I can't forget Meek Mill. That's my hype music. Meek
Yep.
Mill.
I like Meek too. I definitely like that.
So what was your actually in the locker room before getting ready for a game? What do you guys play pregame music wise?
So it's a variety. A lot of people, usually there's one person dedicated to the speaker, so, we usually, have him take over the speaker, and then a lot of people have their headphones on as well. So, it's just your preference, whatever your preference is, how you get ready, whether you like to have that chill music, whether you like to have that hype music, or a combination of both. Me, I was a combination of both. I like to, I just like to listen to some chill music, but as it's time to go, then I like to listen to some type of hype music, so.
So what's it like now sharing your story and your career on different platforms like this, on these shows? And that's how I found your page. You were on our friend show, Seb Talk Sports. So he's a big Jaguars fan, and he had you on your show. That's how I found your page. And what's it like just to share your story on different platforms like that?
And it's really fun. It's really fun. I'm always up to do interviews and things like that. So yeah, man, it's just always fun to be able to, talk with different people, and being able to just share my thoughts on, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What did you experience during your time? Hopefully this can get out, and we can definitely, some people can see it and be like, oh man, Demetrius said something that sticks, in my mind. So, hopefully it can do that for some people.
Yeah, and now the last two things here before you go, our team is part of this foundation called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. He's a former NFL coach, and now he's the offensive coordinator at Tennessee State with Eddie George. So we're trying to help him prevent human trafficking and making sure the community stays safe and the kids stay safe. So I'll send you the foundation so you can go check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I will definitely go check that out.
And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers right now?
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate all of your hard work. We know that last year was tough, and then it's still going too. So definitely appreciate your hard work. Commend everybody.
I think your screen. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I definitely commend everybody for doing so. So yeah, appreciate all of your hard work as well.
Yeah, well said. And there it is. That wraps up episode 832 with NFL free agent defensive back Demetrius McCray. Go follow him on all social media formats. He does a great job. I just want to say thank you for joining the show, Demetrius. We would like to have you back on the show at some point so you can meet the full team. And keep up the great work, and good luck at your next journey. And tell your parents I said thank you for their service.
All right, I definitely appreciate you having me as well. Yeah, definitely do this again. You just let me know, and we can definitely connect again.
Thank you.
All right. Well,